So here we are at part 2 of your treatment of the books of Samuel. At this point, the only question is whether or not you do a more competent job at biblical commentary than Roscoe P. Coltrane. That and whether you're having delusions of being an animated version of Cecil B. DeMille. Now let's get this over with. Now to start, I may as well correct you on something pretty basic. You've fallen for the usual kindergarten rendition on Goliath's recorded height. Makes for a good cartoon, but it's lousy scholarship. Here's an article you might want to consider reading to correct that Sunday school story you're still reading into the text. What's that? No, sorry. It doesn't have any pictures you can color. Alright, next big foul-up. What's with this single punch and superpowers crap? You sure didn't get that from the text. The word used there is a pretty general one. It can be used of striking with a hand, a weapon, or even defeating an army. How exactly David killed these predators is a matter of researching the normal way such things were done in 1100 BC. A sling is probably the likeliest option. And one other hint. The largest bears in Palestine were only 400 pounds. You're falling for the usual shtick of displacing American grizzlies to the other side of the world. Probably too much to ask you to even get that kind of thing right. Amazingly, you go several minutes with plenty of crude humor, but no real mistakes. I hope it was a joke when you said the name of Saul's daughter was a man's name. Probably was a joke. Just in case, though, the most probable meaning of her name is from a word meaning brook or stream. Kind of feminine, right? Like Brooke Shields. Now on this, Saul's demand for Philistine foreskins. There's actually a couple of good reasons for that, and I'm almost sure you know it had nothing to do with making a coat out of them. The first thing is that they were a pretty clear and convenient guarantee that the owner of the foreskin was dead. The second thing is that it was guaranteed to get the Philistines stoked against David, because it was an extreme dishonor he was putting on them. Yes, you got that much right. Saul is doing his best to get David killed. What's that your bug said? Why would Saul think David wasn't capable of this with 1,000 men at his disposal? Well, get the point, at least as far as what Saul had in mind. Dishonor, followed by more Philistines on David's back. Look at what that actually means. Saul is so intent on eliminating David as a rival that he's willing to sacrifice 1,000 men to get the job done. Presumably you've heard of tyrants who are just as free with their human resources, right? Now seriously, you see David going out and finding Philistines all alone and taking 1,000 men after them to ask for voluntary contributions of their foreskins? No. What's in mind here is combat between large parties, Dark. This is part of the war in progress, and the foreskins were taken again as proof of death in pitched battle. This had to have been one of your more ridiculous readings of the text, or else one of your stupider jokes. As usual, it's hard to decide which one. So anyway, I guess now we're waiting around for part 3. Any chance you'll get yourself an education before then?
What do you mean, get myself an education? I'm getting one right now from this official guide to the Bible.
Why bother? He's his own best punchline.